Welcome, 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 or g'day, mates, as a few of the Americans have heard over the last week, as I've been over there in Utah, and apparently I look fresh. So don't let that fool you. I just stay up last night till about 5 a.m. Utah time to get myself back into the circadian rhythms of Australia. But I've got to say, I'm so excited from everything that I saw. I cannot wait to get back into it today. No such thing as jet lag here with Neumi. Just keep taking our product. Exciting times, having bounced straight off the second birthday anniversary event for the company. I tell you, where the next 12 months is going is just going to excite the pants of all of you. So with that, to kick off today's event, I'm going to hand you to Ryan Scott, who'll be talking about some fantastic recognitions and also some of these new products. So if you want to unmute Ryan, I'll hand you.
Awesome. Let's see. There we go. Yeah, we had an incredible event this weekend. It was so fun to see everyone's bright and smiling faces. Aaron and I are going to do a little recap of the event. We're going to recognize all the diamonds and above that we've seen throughout this year. We about doubled in our diamond size, and so that's exciting. Our double diamonds doubled, our triple diamonds doubled, and so lots of growth happening in Neumi, and it's so fun to see and so fun to be part of a company where it really feels like we are a family. And I think if there was a takeaway from this weekend for all who attended, we had some people in the airport call us and say, you know what the overall feeling was when they were listening to everybody talk. They said, this really feels like a home and a family. And it's so important in protecting and keeping that culture. That's what we strive to do here at Neumi in corporate and in the field. We're very selective about who we hire because it's important that the people that we work with bring up our culture. You can have one sour employee ruin the spirits of the whole office, and it's just crazy what one bad apple can do. And so it's really important to protect our culture, to make sure we're all one team, unified. And it was something incredible to see everyone unified at this event, and it was just an awesome feeling. So I'm going to actually share a video that you will be able to share tomorrow, but this is going to be a little recap of the event. So let me share that real quick.
Happy birthday, Neumi!
Well, there you go. We had an incredible event. It was so fun to see everybody. And as fun as it was staying indoors for the past 4 years, nothing beats live events. And we're gonna strive to have events that we can push for and have people push for every couple months, so that we get to see your live and smiling faces as often as possible. And one of the things that we get to experience in October is the diamond event. So I'm going to bring Aaron on for a minute, and we're going to talk a little bit about these diamonds that we have qualified. And we have a surprise guest. I thought Steve wasn't going to be able to make it, but we do have Steve on board. And after we talk about these diamonds, we're going to bring Steve on to talk a little bit about some really exciting things coming. You may or may have not heard, but there was some sample products that were passed out during the event. And that's why you want to make it to these events, because you get special privileges like that. And so we had great feedback right from the get-go. So let's look at these names. Aaron, I'm going to bring you in to talk a little bit about these diamonds, and then we'll talk with Steve about the products that we're looking at.
Well, I obviously look forward to recognizing those individuals that we've got. I do want to just recap a little bit on the event, because one of the things that I love about this industry is the opportunity to do a lot of personal development. Going through growth and learning and wisdom and all the other extracurricular pieces about this industry really give us an opportunity to work through some opportunity or some areas where we can actually improve, not only in how we conduct our business and not only in how we treat others, but also in the ways that we do follow up and follow through, and how we understand maybe human behavior or those types of traits or characteristics of different people. And it's one of the things that I love about what we did, and we did it back in February. We did a little bit of it at the Diamond Retreat. We'll probably do more of it again, the Diamond Retreat coming up, but is the opportunity to spend time with what I consider to be one of the real world coaches, if you will, in this space, and that's Steve Scott. There are very few people out there that have the knowledge, the wisdom, the understanding, but not only that, the ability to actually train people and take them down a path so that we really understand it. And that's what we saw. People came out of that training just absolutely on fire, ready to go out and tackle the world. And that for me was huge. And then, of course, seeing and meeting all these different individuals that came to the event. A lot of people I've never met before. I've seen them on Zooms 1,000 times. I've been on conference calls. I've chatted with them one-on-one on phone calls. And all of a sudden to see them in person was huge for me. And then, of course, having the event that night, we had Rhonda and Sherry, the two sisters, Rhonda Dasher, Sherry Werner, who were our MCs for the event. They did a phenomenal job, even getting me to dance, which I'm not a dancer. You'll see it again, but getting Chris to dance, Chris Fowler, our COO, was an incredible experience. I noticed they didn't ask Ryan to dance because Ryan will dance anytime, any place, so that didn't really matter. But the fact is that we had an absolute ball. And then, of course, we had the chance to have, again, Michael Firth, who started off the event. We had Michael speak. It set the tone. It really gave us the launch pad that we needed. We had Karen Justice, another one of our crowns. Of course, Michael Firth being a crown, Alex Monterosa being a crown. Those three individuals were able to speak to the group that night, share some of the best practices. We had, of course, Chris Fowler, our COO. We had Ryan Scott, our CSO, our Chief Strategy Officer. We had Bert Wanacott, our scientist. We had Steve get up and speak, and of course myself to be able to deliver the message from my side. And we had a lot of fun. I always tell people, when you had a great party, it's when nobody wants to leave. And let me tell you, nobody wanted to leave. Everybody was still there. They were trying to clean up the room. They were taking down tables, trying to push us out of there, but nobody was leaving. We got the guy to DJ for a little bit longer so that we could dance a bit longer and enjoy some songs. So everybody, we really look forward to seeing you come to these events. We want to meet you. We want to greet you. We want to have an opportunity to share in your successes and be able to have the opportunity to really train you and give you some of the information, the wisdom that we're looking for. And that's really what drives us to what we're doing now, which is the next portion of this event. Of tonight's call. But Michael, just one quick, if you don't mind, maybe you could talk about it from first person, being there as one of our crowns, and what you saw at this incredible birthday bash that we just had for Neumi's 2-year-old Neumiversary.
Yeah, absolutely. For those that don't know, Michael Firth in Australia, Sunshine Coast is a crown. And so firstly, was it worth investing 60 hours in transit there and back? Yes, that's what I'm going to say to you. Absolutely, yes. I feel refreshed today. Take our products. That'll make a big difference if you've ever had jet lag. But I tell you, I'm more excited, and I think I'm just still on the buzz of the event. One of the biggest things I noticed, because I came in there with my heart talking about, having been with this company from inception, keeping the culture. And I just got to say that we had a crown dinner, for example, with Karen Justice, Alex Monterosa and corporate team. And at that point, we realized every one of us wanted exactly the same thing. Not an us and them, not a my team, your team, just an umbrella of this Neumi family and love and respect across all lines. And then what I swear on my parents' graves, they're no longer here, that none of us conferred about our presentations before. But if you were sitting there, you would have said they're all knitted together from the very first presentation to the very last one about the same thing. What does Neumi stand for? Culture, and all the positive things that go with that. So protecting the culture is a really big thing. And the wisdom too. Can I say, the first time I went to a diamond retreat, I sat there and I'm like, wow, Ryan, you're so tall, and Aaron, you're a little shorter. I say that with love. But first time I'd ever given a hug to Karen Justice. So to have a crown in your team that you've never actually met in person, then you meet her and think she's 10 times better in terms of wisdom than you've ever known, is just amazing. So we've got a beautiful friendship with a lot of people. It was like a hug fest for lots of people. And I know some people, partner Liz isn't really into hugging. So she wasn't there. So that was probably good, she said. But we just hugged so many people, met so many people, really bonded some friendships all over the world, which was fantastic. And then, I won't steal your thunder, but then to have the announcements about the new products coming and the buzz that came out of that was just out of this world. And maybe you'll ask me a question when you get to that point. I don't want to burst your bubble. Who am I sitting back to?
Well, I'll take over because I really do, and I appreciate it because we saw so many incredible people. We were able to really see a lot of growth in different individuals, even just over the last 4 or 5 months. People that came out in February for Steve's training, and then those that came out for the birthday bash. It was really heavy on Steve's training. I mean, to watch the personality traits that came through in the personality test, and then helping people understand the types of individuals that are on their teams, and so they can help manage, again, that behavior that happens, whether you're a lion, whether you're an otter, whether you're a beaver, whether you're a golden retriever. If you answer those questions as honestly as you can, you'll be surprised at what comes off the backside of that, and it'll give you a good indication of who you are as well as who you're working with. And I always tell people, make sure that you look at and identify the strengths and weaknesses of your team. Use your strengths in the areas that other people are weak. Use the weaknesses to be overshadowed by the strengths that somebody else may be able to contribute to the team. So with that being said, I, again, want to jump into the recognition. Like Ryan said, we have seen so much growth in the company as well. And so it's a great opportunity. So Ryan, if you want to get started, and we'll start recognizing some of these incredible individuals that have qualified for the Diamond Retreat this coming October.
Absolutely. Let me see. So, well, the first thing I want to point out that's just so cool when I'm looking at this list of names, and like I said, the list size has doubled over the past year, which is, one of the most important factors when looking not only at your business, but as a company, is how are people doing rank-wise? That is such a good indicator of a healthy company and a healthy business within your organization. Sometimes sales numbers can be deceiving, and sometimes people only look at volume. But I'd say more important than volume is how are people ranking and rank advancing. And this is just an awesome sign. The second thing I'll point out is, you may or may not be able to tell by this list of names, but when we first went, all of the diamonds and above were from Canada, US, and one from Australia. We didn't have any other real global outreach, but here we have so many from Canada. We have so many from Latin America. We have Europe. We have, they're from everywhere. So it's really, really cool to see Neumi changing lives, not just in our backyard, but all over the world. So I'll read some of this list just so that we can look. We have Sherman Unkefer, we have Jay Lee, we have Cindy Ryland. Cesar Nunez is a new diamond from Mexico, and he's going to be on the tour with me, and I'm so excited to work with him. We have Anna G, we have Scott Steele, we have Jean Grosso, Beth Aminet. We have this person, I can't remember, some people have their LLCs, and I can't quite remember the name of this person. Jackie Starr in the Netherlands, Didier Vallet in France, Melita Prado in Colombia, Nayeli, I think she's in Colombia, Jane Mullen, Lee Ton Wu in Canada, Jesus Chavez Munguia, I think he's in Mexico, and Jean Manzoni from France. So I mean, just looking at that list, Aaron, I mean, it's pretty incredible to see all the countries that we're growing diamonds in.
It's really cool too, Ryan. When you look at the list, you see a couple of names on here. Cindy was able to go with us to the diamond retreat as a guest with one of our other diamonds, and Cindy came right up to me and said, "Aaron, I will be eligible and qualified to go to the next diamond retreat. Mark my words." And here she is. She didn't fall down on that. She said, "I'll absolutely be there." And I absolutely love that. Jeannie Grosso told me the same thing. Beth Amonitz told me the same thing. Jackie Starr told me the same thing. Jane Mullen, Didier Vallet is an amazing guy. He's actually lives in Thailand, bounces back and forth, but from France. And just like you said, Jean-Louis Manzoni, same thing. He lives in India right now, but building a massive team over in Europe. And then to see the Latin Americans that are coming as well. And I know that, Ryan, you'll be there literally in just a week from now. So what a cool list. Thank you. That's cool.
Yeah. And then here's the double diamonds continue more diamonds. We have Ethan Lugas, Robert Paisley, BNS Connect, Kim Griffith, Juanita, Jesse, Claudio, and LMV Legacy Partners. And here we have our double diamond group, which this is about twice the size as it was last year. Excited to see Lewis Herms come, Keith and Jamie. It's going to be fun to see. Brenda Marks will be there. This is just an incredible thing to see.
Well, it's fun too, because we had a few of these individuals that are last year, and we see them as a return person, a return diamond coming in for the next year. And to me, again, like you said, Ryan, when you see the numbers that we're putting up and you see the people that are qualifying, it is a spectacular list of repeat as well, which is, again, a huge accomplishment.
Yep. And then you'll notice as we go down the list, the qualifications and what you earn just keeps growing. And so we have Nicole Burchett, who hit triple diamond. I think she was only a diamond or double diamond last year, so she grew. And then Fernando Gonzalez, he started growing in around February and has hit triple diamond, has a huge organization in Latin America. He's going to be coming in all the way from Spain. So he's in Spain and Europe, but building a great, awesome, strong organization in Latin America.
That's cool.
And then we have our crowns, which need no introduction, but it's just awesome to see them maintaining the crown position. I have a feeling that maybe next year at the next retreat, we might have a different rank that we'll be bragging about, and we'll earn them even more SPA credits, hopefully.
Well, it's fun too, Ryan, just to take a stab at this. So you've got Karen Justice, WJC Training. If you think about that, Karen was out here for the event this last weekend. She'll be at the Diamond Retreat, which is going to be a phenomenal event for us to spend time with her. Maximum Legacy Family Trust, of course, that's Michael Firth. Alejandro Monterosa is Alex, and then of course Enjoy Blue Green is Jerry Shaw. So you've got some incredibly powerful people. They're going to be enjoying some really, really great, relaxing time in Mexico with us, because where we talk about it, we love to have fun. We like to play hard. We like to work hard. We like to do all of the above. So it's going to be a great event, no question at all. And we look forward to having everybody there that can possibly make it. You know, these events, and we always say this, but these events are really where leaders are born. And just like we heard from Cindy Ryland, when Cindy said, "Aaron, I will be there. I mark my words, I'll be there." Well, it's because she saw the type of individuals that are there. She knows what she can do, and she just had to let herself go and really start building. So every one of you have the same opportunity. You just got to put your head down and get focused, and let's go to work. And we can do this together. And so we may as well jump into these incredible products, because the products will start driving some new opportunities as well. And of course, one thing I always like to say, because I think we'll have Steve come on for a minute, one thing I always need to make mention of, is that when we launch a product, everybody wants the product immediately. And so, of course, for Americans, they'll get the product. For Canadians, they'll get the product very quickly. For some other countries, they'll get the product very quickly when we're not for resale. For the countries that we're on the ground, we'll have to get the products registered. So you're not paying two shipping costs to get the product over the sea, as well as on the ground when you're in a local market that serves you. So we always want to make sure that you know that it might take a little bit of patience. I always tell people patience is not traditionally found in man. But if we can have a little bit of patience, we'll know that it's coming. And as we talk about it, you guys won't have any patience. You're going to be literally knocking down our door tonight or tomorrow because you'll want these products now, but you can't have them just yet. So with that being said, Ryan, anything else you want to hit on before we bring your dad on?
Yeah, I just one of the questions Michael asked me is, he says, how do we tell this story? And luckily we have the best storyteller and the best marketer in the world, namely Steve Scott, who's going to help us tell the story. And what we really need to focus on is that our story is the hydrostat nanotechnology. Our story is being able to take the best ingredients in the world, like glutathione, and applying them to these unique and extravagant and cool ingredients, and making them that much more bioavailable and that much more incredible. And so that's the story. And we'll always stick to our glutathione story and to our Neumi skin story. And the purpose of these products is never to replace. It's never meant to replace. It's meant to add to, and it's meant to find new customers, right? So, for example, our marketing girls are young and in their 20s, and they may or may not necessarily feel the effects sometimes of a NutraSwish because their glutathione levels are high. We all take it in the office because we know how good it is for us in the future, and it helps me with workout recovery and everything. But there are some people out there in those younger generations that will have needs, and these products are meant to address needs of different target markets, so that you guys can have the tools to have an even grander and bigger audience. And we have the story to push all ingredients and all products to all people. So we're really excited, and we're going to maintain our focus as these new products come out. And but with that, I'm going to pass it to Steve to talk a little bit about what these products are, some of the results we saw, and some of the excitement that we saw.
Thanks, Ryan. And before we talk about the products, I just want to say something that is relevant to everyone on this call, very relevant. As you hear all these different countries that we're in, we keep telling you we are a Neumi family. Do you realize you can go to any one of these countries in the world and you have family members? You can place a call and they'll probably say, hey, can I pick you up at the airport? Can I take you somewhere? Can I show you my country? We have a family. This is not a small thing. And one of the things we saw at this event, and that we'll be seeing at future events, was just how much everybody cares for one another. And it's just so cool. And we did one thing that you didn't get to be a part of if you weren't here, is I asked Mei Chung to stand up, and I said, Mei, who introduced you to Neumi? And she was a few chairs away from her. It was Nicole Brichette. And I said, Mei, how many countries do you have Neumi family members in now using Neumi? And she said, every continent. Every continent. Now, think about that. Nicole recruited one person. And because of who she recruited, it just so happens that she has contacts all over the world. And now Nicole has impacted the lives on every continent by one person. That's why you never underestimate the value of that one person. What I love about God is that he loves all of us one at a time. And nobody's more important than anybody else. And that's what we see in Neumi. And So when you recruit one person, or you have a month where you say, Jay, I only talked to 20 people and I only had one person respond, don't worry about it, because that one person may talk to another person who ends up like May all over the world. So I just wanted to share that with you since you weren't there. Let me just say we have criteria for products. Of course, number one, that they're safe. Number two, that they are incredibly effective. They're so effective that they're experiential. Now, someday we will have every product we can, every vitamin, every mineral in different formulas in Neumi, because we know when we are able to use hydrostat to nanosize and deliver, that we get a much higher upregulation into the cell, and it's life-changing. Do you know that when you swish, you're making almost every supplement or vitamin you take, whether you take it through your food or you take it in the form of a supplement, becomes more effective? That how effective vitamin C is, whether or not it's even admitted to a cell, whether or not it's recycled, is all dependent on the glutathione that's available. So we're really not just addressing what glutathione addressed, we're addressing basically everything that goes into your body, pretty much everything. Well, what we have to see in a new product, number one, is safety. Number two, and just as important, is how efficacious it is, and experiential. Now, experiential is a little bit misleading. You know, we've had some people say, I swished and I didn't feel anything. What you may or may not feel is the tip of the iceberg, but it's what's underneath, what it's doing for your immune system, what it's doing for your lungs, your heart, your brain, what it's doing for detoxifying your liver, what it's doing for all those body systems that rely on glutathione, you don't necessarily feel. But it seems to be a lot better. One reason our products are just fly out there and don't come back is because that tip of the iceberg is very experiential. Well, we've been working for a long time on 2 new products. I can't give you the dates that they'll be out in the field. We're not finished with them yet. We're just about finished with one. That'll probably be the first one that gets out, and that's our neurotropic, our product that is meant for the brain to assist the mental clarity. It's just, you know, to our joy, when we sampled it with the people, everybody felt it. Everybody experienced it. So it is an experiential product. And people say, well, how about glutathione? It gives me a mental focus and it clears brain fog. Yeah, it does. And you may not need the brain product, but I'll tell you what, for those times when you do need it, whoa, I used it on this because I was staying up late each night. I was getting up early. I was doing a lot of teaching and speaking, and I'll be 75 in a month. And so I went ahead and used it, and it was just wow. Now, Michael, you used it. What did you experience, buddy?
You need to hold your head on. No, what happened was, I'll tell you a funny story. So I went up to the room. I was like, oh God, just have a quick shower to freshen up after that. It was just so go, 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 go. So I swished a little bit, went for the shower, swishing, came out, and I'm like, oh yeah, I feel a little bit more alert. No glasses on. And I just picked up the bottle. I went, oh, and I thought, oh, I better just check that wasn't the other product. And I nearly went down the women's product side. But then I had another swish. And I was like, whoa, I'm full on. So I went downstairs and then I met with Alex. He'd done the same thing and a few others. And then Rhonda and Sherry were sitting on the couch and they were ready to go to bed. And Rhonda and Sherry swished. And then boom, all of us went out to the bar and had a little party. And apparently they also slept really well afterwards. But yeah, same here. Just an amazing product. I think we're tapping into a brand new market, which was phenomenal.
Yes. Now, one thing that was interesting about Sherry and Rhonda is they are farm girls. They grew up on a farm. Sherry still does some farming, and they're used to going to bed early. I'm not supposed to call either one of them after 9 in the evening, their local time. And they didn't go to bed early. They took the brain product and oh my gosh, they were ready to go. And yet they both said the next morning that when they went to bed, it didn't keep them awake, and they went into a very deep sleep. So that was really a cool testimony. So that product is fully formulated. We know that all the elements are there. It will probably be, we are guessing it will be the first of our 2 new products that will be released. When? We're not sure. I know we're shooting for September, October, I think. Aaron, nod your head yes, Aaron, if that's correct. Okay, thank you. I haven't made a fool of myself yet. And that'll be getting out there. And that's one you don't have to hype. You don't have to tell people, I think you're going to feel it. They're going to feel it. And we had one guy in our warehouse who's very big, muscular. I mean, the guy can probably lift a car. And he got it and didn't realize that he thought it was just like Swish. You take as much as you want. So he took about a third of a cup. Swish, 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 swish. And whoa, he not only felt it, he said, ooh, when is the buzz in my arms and legs going away? And so you can't overdo that one. Don't do too much. Start with the recommended dosage, and you probably won't need to go beyond that over a 4 or 5 hour period of time at all. So that's that one. The other one is one that we are still working on all the elements. The other one is made up of botanicals, which are much more difficult to control in the nano process than is an inorganic material. You can get amazing outcomes, but it takes longer to get it to where you're ready to go to market. So that'll be the second one that comes out. But we've already had a clinical study. Dr. Hershire did a double-blind clinical study with 100 women. Yes, it is a female product. It covers the gamut of everything from premenopause, perimenopause, and postmenopause. So that just about includes every woman on the earth. And so it was double-blind, which means the patients didn't know which one, if they're getting a placebo or the real thing. The doctor didn't know which one they were getting because everything was controlled with numbers. And so that's the most effective type of clinical testing you can get. And usually the placebo sees some effect. If the effect with the actual ingredient is a 10, sometimes placebos can be as high as a 3. Okay, it's a placebo effect. That's a real thing. The placebo in this case got a big fat 0. Not a single woman noticed any improvement whatsoever. And in fact, some said, wow, it went down. Now it was only sugar water. So maybe the sugar in the water made them take a little bit of a dive. On the active product, the controlled product, where they actually got our product, in different classes of women, you had premenopause, perimenopause, postmenopause. 2 groups got 80% saw a very exciting difference. One of the groups got a 90%. That's huge. Now, all of you know that I had a lifetime of testing products. I had cosmetics, skincare, makeup, weight loss. So we've seen lots and lots of strength, seen lots of testing. I will tell you, I have never seen any product get the universal kind of response that we saw with the woman's product. Now, we haven't done that kind of study with the neurotropic that we're doing. Do we have them named? I know we don't have a name for the brain product yet. We're working with it. If you have a suggestion, you feel free to go send any suggestions to Sean@Neumi.com. That's just Sean@Neumi.com. And he'll be glad to get your suggestions. He has no idea I'm doing this tonight, so he might get 200 or 300 emails in the morning, but that's his problem, not mine. Anyway, but we are looking at possible names right now. That'll be the first one we roll out. The women's product, Ryan, do you have a name for that if you're still on?
Yes, we're looking at just calling it hers.
Okay.
So something that's kind of exciting is there may or may not be a rebranding coming along where we're going to dress up the bottles a little bit. And the name Neumi is going to be front and center and what takes up most of the bottle possibly. And then the name it will be more at the bottom. So you'll see the product names by benefit. So hers, NutraSwish, this one might be a brain. So yeah, names are still undecided, and but names are not as important as the effects that we've seen. So that's the hard part. Hard part is coming up with a product where people can get rid of their hot flash within 10 minutes of using it, or their cramps within 10 minutes of using it. That's the hard part. Coming up with the name is easy.
Yeah, and women did see those kind of results. Even in our own office, one woman was having horrible cramps and took it, and it was gone. How long, Ryan, with Cameron?
She said about 5 minutes.
5 minutes gone. And she has them so bad sometimes that she can't come to work, or when she was in school, go to school. So that was really exciting. And you're going to love it. And we're going as fast as we can. We will make sure that every country has at least 30 to 60 days notice before it arrives. So you're not going to be caught in the dark. Aaron, did you raise your hand?
Yes. No. No,
You
carry
did
on.
not. Do you want to say anything about the product, Mr. Aaron?
Well, I think what Steve mentioned is that when you have a product that you try to make experiential, you hope it's experiential, you hope that people notice a result or an effect or an impact. And a lot of times they don't. It takes months and months for a lot of people to notice anything. And of course, I used to tell people, because products that are not nano take a little bit more time to get in your system and to start really working and developing inside the body. Well, the bottom line is that I used to tell people, hey, with supplements, traditional supplements, it took you 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 years to get unhealthy. It's going to take you time to get healthy again. Well, now I don't have to say it. Now I get to say, look, get on the product. You're going to feel something very quickly. When you start feeling it, when you start noticing some of the behaviors that are changing in your body, in your mind, in the way that you act, in the energy levels, in your focus, whatever it may be, that's going to start driving you to the right direction to start noticing how it also helps other individuals. And when people really start using these products, I mean, I don't remember how many people we had in our office on Saturday, but I'm going to say it was over 100, maybe even 120 or so. And every single one of those people that were there were talking nonstop about these two products. Of course, women were talking about the hers product and the brain product, and everybody was talking about the brain product. And it was amazing to hear the results. It was amazing to hear the feedback, because for us, just like Steve said, it's rare that you get that kind of feedback, and to get it so early on from a kind of a controlled group of people, that they weren't just coming in and saying, oh, this happened or that happened. We had Luke Sky, who was standing in Bert's office, and we let him try a little bit of the product. And all of a sudden I noticed, and he had somebody else talking. Somebody else was in the office talking. And Luke started kind of clenching his fingers a little bit in his hands. And as he was kind of clenching them, he kind of opened them up, and I was watching this. And I finally said, Luke, are you feeling something as well? You want to tell us what you're feeling? He goes, look, I am the most sensitive person in the world when it comes to, supplements. I'm telling you right now, I have never felt a rush like this. He said, I'm feeling a rush, like a circulation rush, almost like a niacin rush. He said, I'm feeling this, but we don't have any niacin in there. And we, of course, talked about a few of the ingredients. Arginine is incredible vasodilator, really opens up blood flow and allows the blood to not be constricted throughout the body, allowing it to flow where it needs to go. It was conversations like that really just emphasized to me, we need to get busy. I've got a meeting tomorrow morning, literally at 9:00 a.m., where we're going to go through from top to bottom a launch schedule, understanding exactly what it takes to get to production, what it takes to get labels, bottles, and everything filled, and how soon we can get it tested and then out in the inventory shops of all the areas that we can possibly get it to. So that's what we're going to work on. We're going to be aggressive about it. So Steve, I'll turn it back to you.
Okay, I think I'm just about done. I'm excited for our Neumi family. I see your faces on this call. By the way, tomorrow we're resuming our science call. for your guests and for people that want to understand what we have. We'll be doing that at 6 o'clock Mountain, 8 o'clock Eastern. If you live on the west coast of Australia, that would be around 8 in the morning. And on the East Coast, I guess it's around 11 or 12. Michael knows. Anyway, we'll be resuming that. We have an awful lot of people in our family now. And some of them go through very, very, very hard times. So I just want to encourage everybody, find that, offer yourself as a prayer partner, pray for those that are in need. Everybody in this company has a mentor because they have an upline. So be faithful as a mentor to train the people that are looking to you for leadership. And just know that we support you. We do everything we can. We're only 2 years old. We haven't even, we're still having toddler problems. We're not beyond the toddler stage yet, but we got the most capable staff I've ever seen in a company ever. And we're getting a lot of things done. Ryan, Aaron are really directing the company. Chris in operations, Bert on the science side. It's just been an amazing. So I don't want to close the call. I'll turn it back to Ryan.
I have one last thing to say. Sorry. We also have had a lot of success with our pilot website in Canada, our PRP website in Canada. And here, I actually have something else. Everybody say hi to Sunny.
Sunny! Woohoo!
You say hi.
Hi, Sunny.
Say hi to the
Hi,
Neumi family.
Sunny.
Everybody, this is the future president of the United States. So we just had dinner. So I'll put you, okay, well, she can announce the PRP program too. So we had an incredible PRP launch in Canada. And what we are doing is we're working on putting together a PRP website that you can send all of your PRP potential customers to, no matter what country you're in. As long as the PRP is in that country, they will be able to order from the same website. And the pack sizes will be a little bit smaller, so they'll be able to mix and match 24 bottles. So that'll be great. And people can put in who their sponsor is right there, and it'll be geared towards professionals, not network marketing. So that'll be a great place to send your professionals. So that's something else I wanted to say. The estimate, yeah, exactly, Sunny, yeah. And the estimated date is August for this to be ready, and so get ready. It'll be great and a much better experience than working just on the phone. So that's the last thing I wanted to add.
Right on. Well, we'll turn it right back over to Michael, but I really want to thank everybody for joining us today or this morning or this afternoon or tonight, wherever you happen to be in the world. And just because I see so many different people from so many different continents, it's absolutely amazing to me as well. As Steve said, we've just absolutely grown. So thank you very much for being with us tonight. And Michael's going to give you some updates and some information on upcoming calls. So Michael, we'll turn it back to you.
Beautiful. Thanks, everyone. What an awesome call. While I was listening to this, I was thinking of something. When I was a kid, maybe you've done this, you had a Christmas tree and there was presents under it. And my mum said to me, don't you touch those. Don't you touch those. And of course, I transparently say this, my mum's not with me anymore. There was a present from my auntie overseas. And I thought, oh, what could that be? So I climbed in there one day and I peeled off the sticky tape and I just really carefully opened it up. I'm like, oh, this little model bike. And then I put it all back and whatever. And then on Christmas Day, my mum said, you've opened this. Now, I say this because I love every single one of you out there. But when we said hers and we said brain, all of a sudden, boom, we saw stuff on social media. It's like, hang on, you unwrapped the present. We told you not to unwrap the present. So some people asked in the comments about the branding. And as we've just heard, it might be hers. Now, some social media pages went up with those words. Just a quick reminder, with love, none of us can have a page in any of the brand names. We can call it whatever we like, and Neumi, we can't have Neumi first. We can't have the brands first. So hers, if it is, might not be now, would be protected. Boost, if it is, might be the brand, might not be, would be protected. So just keep that in mind with your teams, not to go off and randomly open your presents a little early because it might be something different in the present than you've expected and you might have gone down the wrong channel. But with that in mind, we have an event schedule every week, and in the US or Northern Hemisphere, it is Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Tuesday is a diamond presenting, and we'd love more diamonds to step up and present and round it off. We have the members night like tonight, and then we have Steve Scott sharing the Hydrostat Nano delivery breakthrough in detail, which is a great tool. So if you're in the Southern Hemisphere, it's exactly the same schedule. In the Northern Hemisphere, it's Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, 6 p.m. Mountain Time. Southern Hemisphere depends where you are. Where I am, it'll be 10 o'clock Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. So just remember that's what we're rolling with. So tomorrow, pack it out with Steve Scott and let's catch this momentum, because this rocket ship, this is the smallest we're ever going to be. We're currently in 60 to 70 countries, who knows, and we are going to blow the doors off the end of this year. Thanks, everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. All the best.